Craftin' buddies. It's Lori from Lori's Little Bit of Craftin'. And I'm getting in just under the wire. It is 11:59 here in Wisconsin on August 30th. What a day. So, just to warn you, let me play with my computer here and mute that. I do not have my tablet here tonight because I had my vendor market today in a neighboring community. So I don't have my tablet because it's still in all the stuff that is not fully unpacked yet. So I may or may not be able to tell if anybody is online with me. I may or may not be able to follow comments. I've got my computer up, but we'll see. So, and I'm not even really sure what I'm going to do tonight because after we did the vendor market today, we had to rush home, unload a car so that people could sit in it, and then go down to another community for a family function. And yeah, it's been crazy. So tomorrow I'll be unpacking my things at some point. Anyway, on the 4th day of August, September, countdown to mini catalog day, September 3rd. So we've got the 31st, the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, and this catalog will be live. Then I can show you the inside. If you don't have a demonstrator and you would like a catalog, I would love to provide one for you. So just reach out to me. Either send me an email to lorimacari@gmail.com. That's 2 C's, 1 R. And let me know you need a catalog. So it looks like people are watching, but I can't see the chat with my computer. So tonight might go really fast. I don't know. Just a reminder, we also have 2 kind of specials going on right now. Stampin' Up! Until August 31st has 15% off the current cycles, the 2025 to 2027 in color products. 15% off. There's a lot of stuff there. If you go to my store, hit shop, shop by color, select in color, you'll see all the things. And all the things are a lot of things. Paper, designer series paper, markers, inks, ribbons, kits, scrapbooking kits. There's just a bunch of stuff. I'm sure I'm forgetting some things, but there were a lot of choices the last time I looked at it. And if you order at least $35 in product from me by the end of August 31st, so that's just Sunday here in the US. If you order at least $35, I will gift you a full-size cloud cover ink. They're not available for purchase. For customers only, demonstrators can get it because there was a color shift on it. Stampin' Up's not happy with it. So I can gift it to you, but I can't sell it to you. I pulled these out, but I don't think we're going to use them. So, sorry I'm a little discombobulated tonight. I should have run out to my vehicle and just tried to sift through all of the things to find my tablet because it works better. So we'll just muddle through as best we can, and I'll try to catch the comments somehow. So if you give me a like, I think I'll be able to see that, but I'm just not seeing the comments. Maybe if I do it up on my screen. I don't know. So anyway, we're going to use this Christmas Words Collage Hybrid Embossing folder. That's a lot of title there. I ran a few things through already in an effort to save time, knowing I was going to have some video issues. And I'm also using the die. There's a single die, these Christmas Words Collage dies. And I cut them out on white because I thought we could add some color. We'll see if it works out better today. And I also cut them out in, I think that's a bronze, bright copper, golden tungsten, these metallic things, sheets. And so this is the bronze. Now I know I did gold because I have a word in gold, but I'm not sure that I'll be able to find it. So we'll see. I had some things cut, so I have a couple of ideas. So anyway, I'm going to start with my Mossy Meadow one. And this is an 8.5 by 5.5. So when I do my card bases, if you've worked with me before, you know that I do a full size piece of cardstock. I score it once, my 4 1/4, and then I turn it and cut it at my 5.5. That way I have 2 card bases ready to go. All right. So let's get this burnished. And then I ran through just the Mossy Meadow without die cutting. Okay. And I kind of like it. I did it a little on a diagonal so that I could catch this Merry Christmas, but so that it wasn't just so flat and linear. Okay. Now I also did it in the two-tone cardstock. All right. So this is the light side. This is the dark side. I'm guessing you can see on camera the difference in the color. Okay. The darker side is supposed to be the true color. And this has a white core. And it has a white core because the color is printed on the paper instead of dyed on the paper like our cardstocks. That's why the cardstock does not have a white core. It's dyed all the way through. This, the color is just printed on top. So you can see that this is a little curled. I spritzed it before I ran it through the embossing folder because I wanted to see if it would make a difference with these paper fibers. All right. But what I wanted to do is take just a little piece of sandpaper and rough these up a little bit. Now, I have a sanding block somewhere. Don't ask me where it is because I've looked and I can't find it. So I will be getting another one. And just a very light sanding, even with this fine grit sandpaper, really highlights those words. Okay. So this is just going to be a very simple card. So I'm going to trim this down to a card base size. And I want Merry Christmas to show up pretty good. So I'm going to try to take a little bit more off of the Merry Christmas and hope that it doesn't look hideous. It might look hideous. We'll see. All right, so I'm going to go like this and cut it. And I'm going to do 4 1/8 because I want it a little closer to the edge of my card base. And then this piece I need to trim just a little bit because there's a line on here from the embossing folder. So since I'm cutting off just a smidge, I know that's a very technical term as a smidge, I'm going to take my cutting blade and I'm going to move it up to where it's not on a corner of my paper. And then when I go up and down, it's not going to catch that corner or that edge and make it all ugly. All right. So then here, instead of 5 1/2, going down to 5 1/4, I'm going to go down to 5 3/8. Okay. Whoops. Guess we should cut it instead of score it. All right. So then what I thought I would do is put this up on dimensionals, either this one or this one. And I was going to ask for votes, but maybe I should just do them both because I can't decide. Let me see if I have this other base ready to go. or if I used it already. Here it is. So let's go ahead and burnish this one. That didn't flatten out very good now, did it? So this is Mossy Meadow. 2-ton cardstock, regular cardstock. And I wonder if I should rough up the edges of this. I wonder if I could just roll it. That's probably not going to work. I'm going to use my snips. And if anybody's coming in late, I cannot see comments tonight because I don't have my iPad. I only have my computer. And because I was pretty late coming on, I wasn't able to play with it to figure it out. And I didn't have time to run to my vehicle to get my iPad. So, and I'm not sure if I don't know how I joined the chat. I don't know. It is what it is. I'll watch for comments later. All right, so we'll do this a little bit, and maybe I can roll some of these corners in just to make it look a little more rustic. And then I need to figure out what, oh, I know what ribbon I can use. I just have to find it. I'm just kind of rolling this so it's really broken down. And I'm only going to do the 2 corners. I don't think all 4 of them is necessary. So I could do some baker's twine because we have the early espresso and old olive combo pack. I think those are the colors. It doesn't say on there, but I'm pretty sure that's early espresso and old olive. And then I'm looking for the ribbon, that loose weave ribbon. Where, oh where did I put that? My desk is such a mess. I know I had it recently. I was just looking at it. Here it is. So we have this loose weave. I don't know which one is my extra piece. There we go. We have this loose weave. I think that's what it's called. Irregular weave. Loose weave, irregular, whatever. So we could put this down here and maybe tie a knot on it. Let's kind of do that. And we'll see how it turns out. If it doesn't turn out, then we do something different. All right, so I showed this technique for doing a knot rather than a bow. So when I'm doing like more masculine cards, I prefer to do a knot over doing a bow because I consider the recipient, not just that I'm making it, but that the recipient might not be real keen on bows. I just happen to have snips in my pocket. So I should have gotten my fabric scissors, but it worked. All right, so there's that. And if we put that around here, and I'm going to put some tear and tape, I think, on this. And I don't want to use my yeah, my bone folder to burnish that tape this time because I don't want to flatten out any of those words. So let's see if I've got that knot kind of where I want it. I think I want it on the upper portion. So we'll just put that there. And like so. Now I'll use my ribbon snips. And I apologize that I can't see comments. And then I'm going to add just a little bit more tear and tape just to secure the end. I don't want it to come apart once it's in the recipient's hands because that would be embarrassing. And I'm going to do some dimensionals. I think I'm going to use the black ones. And these come in a multi-pack, so there's a mix of the regular dimensionals with, I don't want that to come off either. It's a mix of the regular size dimensionals and mini dimensionals in one packet, which is kind of cool if you don't have a preference to use the full size ones or the small ones. I go in spurts. Sometimes I use the big ones for almost everything, and other times I just seem to use the little ones because they go further, you know, because they're smaller, you get more on a sheet. And I am not sure where we're going with this, but we will see in a moment. That one doesn't want to come off. There we go. All right. So let's just put this on our card base. And I think what I'll want to do with this is maybe maybe a sentiment out of here, and I'll see if I can, I'm trying to think and work at the same time. I'll see if I can maybe put some season's greetings, put some color on this. Merry and bright. 'Tis the season. I think we'll do that one. Let me get another sponge dauber and see if I can do a little bit better today than I did yesterday or the day before when I was giving this a whirl. I don't use my sponge daubers very often, so I don't feel like I'm very good at it. Let me put this debris away. And for those of you just hopping on, I have been gone pretty much the whole day and I cannot see any comments. So if you're commenting, I apologize that I cannot keep up with them because I can't see them. Well, that's going to be pretty subtle. So let's just see how much I can mess this up. It's getting some of the background as well as some of these letters, but I think the letters are going a little bit darker, so that's kind of the look I was hoping for. I'm also going to do this in pecan pie. Not quite the look I was hoping for. I could try to do like markers or something, but I'm sure I would really mess that up. But I think this is okay because the letters are getting a little darker than the rest of it. And that's really what I wanted. I wanted the letters darker. So I think that's working all right. All right. Let's see how that looks. And we're just going to put that on there on dimensionals too. And maybe I have some of these leftover pieces. Maybe we'll put just some little berries on here. Or maybe berries and a pine bough. What do you think of that? That's not too bad. For crafting on the fly, that's not too bad. I kind of like that. All right, so let's leave that one there, and then let's go to this other one that just used regular cardstock. Now, if I were to use the sandpaper on here or a sanding block, it would not have the same effect again because this is colored all the way through. So I'm not going to do that. But you can see where I did the embossing folder, I had my paper in the embossing folder a little crooked so that when it came out, it would be slanted or canted rather than full on. Okay. So now what I think I want to do is maybe color some cherry cobbler ribbon, and maybe we'll do a knot on this one as well because it's been that kind of week. We've been kind of knotting things. And then I've got the light cherry cobbler. Let me go grab the dark cherry cobbler. I think I might like that better. I don't have my alcohol blends close to my crafting table just because when I have people over in my studio, I want them accessible there also. So they're kind of on the side of my room, so I have to travel just a little bit to get them. So let's go ahead and color this basic beige ribbon. And this is new. I think it must be a 1/4 inch. No, 3/8 inch. Yeah, I should know just by looking at that. That's more than a 1/4 inch. I'm going to try to do this pretty dark because I want it to be a nice dark contrast to the mossy meadow. And when I use my alcohol blends, I'm using the side of that painter tip because I don't want to break the tip down. Because if you color straight on and you break that tip, you're not going to get very nice coloring when you want to have a little more control for images when you're blending or shading. All right, so I kind of like that. And let's kind of get this to dry a little bit. It shouldn't take too long. Ah, there's the messages. I found them. Yay. All right, so let's see. Fifi, welcome. They weren't on the side before, so somehow I just minimized my screen and brought it up. So I see Fifi's here and the messy palette, and that's Diane or Diana, I don't remember. So I'm glad you ladies were kind of keeping each other notified of my issues, but it's not, my screen is not in front of me, it's off to the side, so it'll be a little more challenging for me to keep up with the comments, but you girls will work with me. Oh, and I guess I need another piece to make my knot because that's probably going to be just a little too short. I was not planning ahead. All right, we'll just do another little piece here. That won't take long. Oops. There we go. So welcome everybody. How are you ladies? Well, if you say things that aren't behaving, I can always delete them later, but I haven't ever had to do that. So that's a good thing. That's a good thing. All right. So I'm getting a little inky, but that's the name of the game. So am I right at Messy Palette? Is it Diane or Diana? I don't remember. I'm thinking maybe Diane, but Diana. Sorry. My memory used to be good. Usually to remember the criminals that came through my court. Years ago, I used to work in our county court system, so all the bad people, bad drivers, and misdemeanor charges used to come through my court. I could remember those people if I saw them like at the grocery store or something. It's like, oh yeah, there's so and so. But now I don't. I haven't had to deal with inherently bad people for quite a long time, and it's been nice. So let's just scooch that down a little bit more. And then I'm going to use that tear tape again to secure these edges. And it doesn't look like my guest stamper and I are going to have time. I don't think we're going to have time to do a video tomorrow or later today because it is actually Sunday here in Wisconsin. So that's going to go here. And this is going to go here. And I'm going to put this on dimensionals again. Let's use this here and my snips. Oops, almost lost them. And I'm just going to use some of these end pieces just because I kind of like them for this card. Because I'm just putting the ends up. Now, we can put a little bit in the middle too, I guess. And again, I'm not gonna burnish any of these things, excuse me, just because I don't want to minimize the depth of the embossed words. All right, so Diane, oh good. So what did you ladies do today? And Diane, you're tired? I hear ya. Just had to wet my whistle too because I'm very thirsty. I didn't drink enough today because I was at that vendor fair. All right, so you had, oh, grandchildren birthday out of town. Oh, so driving. Oh, were the kiddos with you in the car? Or they were just high on their sugar rush from the birthday, and then you had to drive more home. Either way, that can be pretty tiring. All right. I keep losing my, there they are. I keep losing my little snips here. So when I do the knot like I did here, this is like the back of the knot and that's the top of the knot. So that's the difference. I prefer to actually roll it on my, I think we'll go like this. I prefer to roll it and tie it like onto my take your pick tool. I can tell I'm tired because I'm just not that as quick in the draw as I usually am. All right, so there's that. And then I think this would be good. It's a little darker because that's faded just a little bit from just being colored. So I'm going to snip those down. And we'll make a double one maybe. And I still have another branch here. And then we could do a Happy Christmas. We could do a Merry Christmas. Or I could do a whole different sentiment so the words show up better. I mean, this shows up okay when you're looking at it because it's raised, but it's not super easy. So maybe I'll find, I haven't gotten all of my Christmas stuff yet. I have some autumn stuff because that really caught my eye. So let's do, we could do a Peace, Love, and Joy. I've used that one before. Labeling new stuff is always fun. I do really good for a while. Oops, I forgot. Peace, Love, and Joy. I did surgery on this one. So my joy, I wanted to just put joy on one, and I didn't want to have to mask it. So I just cut them apart. Peace, Love, and Joy will go this way. So I can just line those up. Not a big deal. All right, so now let's get a piece of white here. And some cherry cobbler I think would be good. I wonder if this one's real red. Or if that's cherry cobbler. Let's see if I have different colors. I wonder if I did two different colors. No, they all look the same. All right, well, we're going with it because I don't feel like changing it tonight. I think that might be real red. But if I don't glue it, I can always fix it. And I should have a piercing mat under this, just to make it more likely that I'll get a good image. But that turned out pretty good. Kids always enjoy those birthday parties. But when you can get two birthday parties in for one, I think that's a win. Personally, I think that's a win. All right. So I think that's good. And I think I'll tuck that maybe under that ribbon. I am going to change that because I do think this is real red. I'll have to compare it. Let me go get a scrap of the cherry cobbler. Just see. Maybe that is cherry cobbler. Yeah, that's cherry cobbler. All right, it's all good. We're all good. So I'm not going to change anything. All right. So here's those with our two-sided card, or yeah, two-tone cardstock. There's one with regular cardstock. Now I do want to get, I think, some rhinestones and color those with my alcohol blend. Well, I'm glad it looks good there. It seemed a little bright on my end, but I think it's okay. I think we'll do a couple of those. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. We'll see how that goes. All right. Yeah, I almost did not get on before midnight. That kind of throws me off because then I feel like I'm rushing. It's like, oh my goodness. So even though these aren't attached down just yet, I know that it's going to kind of go there. So I'm just going to go ahead and put these on here. And then we'll put one more up there. Okay. Let's put this off to the side. I can go ahead and glue these down, I think. That'll work. There's no reason not to glue them down because I don't have to change those berries. So I'll just do a little bit of glue on the base of those pine needle clusters. And we'll put some glue on the stem, maybe. There we go. I don't want to over glue, because if you have a hard time with the liquid glue because you're getting glue all over, it's because you're using too much. A little bit goes a long way. So I'm just putting a very thin layer on here. And we'll make this one go in the other direction. Things are so quiet here. My husband went up to bed already, so the TV's off. It's awesome. And let's just, we'll kind of make that go that way. And I'm going to dimensionalize that. I like that word, dimensionalize. I guess I'll use a couple of the big ones. I have some full sheets in here because I had to replenish my little adhesive bin because I went through everything. That's what happens when you make time to craft every day. And don't get me wrong, I'm not complaining, because since I've been doing these videos every day, I use more of my things, and that's a good thing. Instead of buying things that I like with the intention of using them and then sometimes never using them. Hello, Karen from New Zealand. Yes, I did not recognize your name. Thanks for popping in. Feel free to comment, suggest changes, visit. All right, so there's that one. Let's go ahead and attach these little things on here. And I think what I might do is put some seal on here. Yeah, New Zealand was on my bucket list too, because I'd always read if you go to Australia, you have to go to New Zealand because it's even more beautiful. Oh, I almost went when I was 30, but I got a divorce instead. All right, so let's stick those on there. See how easy that was to just pick those all up when they're placed right where I want them? And now I can put some dimensionals on, and that's just going to further secure everything where I want it. And I'm going to use a few here because there's some, not a lot of open space between where my items are. I'm going to cut this one in half. I could have probably used a couple of little ones. But we're going to put this one over here and this one up here. All right. Well, Karen, the next time we're planning a trip to Wellington, we'll try to look you up. It's on my bucket list. Someday I'll do it. Fifi, you are so up to date on all those international things. Prime ministers and all that stuff. Impressive. All right. So that's going to go kind of in the middle-ish. Maybe kind of in the middle-ish this side of that irregular weave. Is that what that was? Yep, irregular weave. And then we'll put these other ones on here. So Karen, how did you find this channel here. Just scrolling around for live videos. Wow. Fifi, you are on it. All right, so there's that one. All right, and then I have, what do I have? I thought I had stuff to make this one. I wonder if I didn't do my next, I must not have embossed this one. So I will have to go get a piece of pecan pie. And I think I might emboss it in the plaid, because that seems Christmassy to me too. So should I do the plaid embossing folder or stick with the Christmas one? I'm going to go get that pecan pie piece. So that's a good class you had, Karen, if you had 7 ladies. Nice. All right, found a piece. So you're a demonstrator then, Karen? With Stampin' Up, or do you do something else? So I'm going to do 4 1/8 and then 5 3/8. And any votes on if we should do the plaid or the words? You're with Stampin' Up, Karen. Very cool. How long have you been a demonstrator? I think you were the one that said you were labeling your new stuff, or was that Diane? No, I think Diane was labeling new stuff, right? No, Fifi was labeling stuff. I'm trying to scroll through the comments here. I hope my video's not... My video's kind of stalled on my side, so I hope I didn't mess something up. Oh, well, I think I will do the words just to keep it consistent. We'll see how it looks. So there we go. My video came back live. So let's try the plaid. Okay. We'll try the plaid then. We'll do the plaid. Little variety. I think I want to do, I think I'll try to case the catalog a little bit with the Gingerbread Man, because they're in the new mini catalog. Ugh, sorry, struggling with this. In the new mini catalog, there's a sample where they use the plaid embossing folder there. So I really like that. It's cute. And I think with the Gingerbread Man, it works really well. So Karen, I might have missed. How did you find me? Did it just come up on your feed? Oh, you were just scrolling. I'm sorry. I missed some of those comments. Usually I have my iPad here, so I might always seem this scattered to everybody. You guys can chime in, but I think usually I'm just not, I'm a little flustered today just because I didn't have the prep time, and I don't have my tablet because I had it at the market that we were doing today. And I actually had some nice conversations with folks that stopped in my booth and seemed like we have some interest. And I almost grabbed the wrong plate. So this is a 3D embossing folder, so we just need the base plate number 1 and then the embossing folder plate number 4. And you can see how, I think you can see how I stagger my plates so that the full thickness doesn't go through all at once. All right, so I can put these away. Get my Bossy Bessie out of the way. And get this out of here. Oh, that gingerbread bundle is so cute. In fact, I can reach the card we did one day last week, I think. So here's our little gingerbread guy. And we did it as just, I don't know, I should call that a tuck and fold card. Or a tuck and roll. There's a story in that, if anybody's interested. My husband used to be in law enforcement. You can ask me about his tuck and roll event. So that's our little Oh Snap guy that we made the other day. And I would just put panels on the back of here for a message, because there's really not a good place for them in there. Or just do a separate piece. But you can't do a flat piece on here because of the folds, obviously. All right, where were we? So here, I think I'm going to go ahead and rough up the edges of the cardstock, because I think plaid and or flannel look good when, or they look normal when they're kind of frayed. And I just like to use my snips to rough it up. Sometimes you can roll it. I know Fifi with your Make It Monday group, you rolled that cardstock, those edges that were torn. So that was kind of a cute look. All right, so let's go ahead and get rid of some of that dust, I guess. We'll roll a couple of these corners. The fault line technique. Yeah, I couldn't remember what it was called. Thank you. I've got it sitting close by, but I didn't write what it was. All right. I think I'll do maybe all of the corners of this one. You know, what might be cute is to put the gingerbread guy on this one, because it's so different from those. I just had the 3 colors. I wanted to change up the color combos and just do some tone on tone. But I wanted to try these. Oh, Holly Jolly. That might be kind of fun with the gingerbread guy. And my gingerbread guy is right next to me. So I'm going to just kind of wrinkle this and give it more of a weathered appearance. I kind of like that. This plaid is so fun to work with. Now, if I spritzed this and wrinkled it, it would probably feel even more like flannel. Let's do that. I just happen to have a spritzer handy, because I keep it in my, let's get that base out of the way, I suppose, huh? Let's spritz a little bit more. I keep it in my little container of tools. Gingerbread guy, yeah, I think so too. So if you've never tried this with your cardstock and this plaid folder, it feels, of course it's still damp on here, but it feels like flannel. So obviously I'll have to make sure that this dries before I can glue it on, or it's just not going to stick. I know that. But I love it. I love that. All right. Well, that was a happy little accident there. So we can use, well, not an accident, but happy little experiment. We will use that, and then let's get our gingerbread. Let me get these things moved out of the way a little bit here. I really need to clean. I think I'm going to have some time this week to clean up a little bit and organize. All right, so let me get another piece of pecan pie, because I think that's what I'll stamp on this time. So let me grab another pecan pie. Oh, and I just happen to have my embossing tool over here too. So we're going to do that. Oh, I don't even have to die. Well, I do kind of have to die. No, I don't have to die cut him. Well, what do you know? We're just going to have to, I did an extra because I thought he was so cute. We're going to have to just round out his hand here. And then we will put something. We'll see how close I am. Oh, look at how close I am. Without even trying. So there's the fold there from the card, but can you see that? I was like spot on. Cool. And this one, I could do a jagged cut and it'll look like somebody bit his hand off. So let's get the gingerbread die. And because he's like Hollow Man here, I'm just going to lay him down and let him settle out, right? And then we're going to put a little waistband on him. Or do I want to go this way? Guess we'll go that way. Make sure that works. Yep, that looks good. And then we need to have a face. Gotta have a face. Oops. Well, that's silly because I'm doing this backwards. Because I need that on my glass. Let's try this again. If I would have put the other side up, it would have been fine because I could have picked it up. In fact, maybe I should try that to make sure he's wiggled properly. I just had the wrong side facing up. Silly me. Oops. I just shifted them again. These photopolymer stamps are kind of clingy, which is what they're supposed to be. Hopefully my head's not in the camera. If it is, I'm sorry. I wasn't looking. Let's put his little face on there. So this one I'll be able to use those peppermint candies. There, I think that's pretty good. So let's see if our guy lines up. Looks like it. All right, so now we're going to put the block on. And we can take that off. And now let's get the embossing buddy here. I'm trying to think what I did last night. I think I was embossing last night. And make sure I've got the white. So we've got the white opaque bright. And then let's Versamark up this little guy. And here we go. He'll be fine. The foil that I'm using is the textured metallic. So I think this is still active. It was the last time I looked. It comes gold, bronze, and tungsten. All right, so I think that's good. Hopefully that's a heavy enough dose of Versamark. It might not be. Oh yeah. Phew. Maybe it was just the paper that threw me off. Whoops. Just made a little bit of a mess here. I think you can see what I'm working on here. I'm just going to put a little bit more on here. I'm going to let that sit a little bit maybe and absorb onto the Versamark. I'm just making a big mess today. Big mess. All right, but he looks okay. Let me go brush my fingers off here. Okay. And every time I move, I have to make sure that I don't trip on my computer cord. All right. I will finish cleaning that up later. Let me plug in my embossing tool here. And we'll get our little guy going here. All right, looks like I lost a little bit off his head, so I'm gonna try to get a little bit more on there. All right, here we go. Yeah, I can understand why it's on low inventory because it's really pretty. It's got just a really subtle texture to it too. So normally I just emboss from the back of my guy, but he's kind of curling a little bit because I like to see the embossing powder change. So I prefer to emboss from the back, heat from the back. Because then you can watch it all change. And then it avoids overheating. Also known as over melting your plastic. So I think that looks pretty good. All right, so let's set him down. Switch my plugs back around so my computer doesn't shut off. Yep, less chance of burning, absolutely. Let's move him out of here. And I can get this out of the way too. Well, and it looks like I spared getting any powder on the table here. I did all right. All right, let's go back to this guy here. All right, so I wonder if a little blending with the pecan pie on here would highlight those plaid lines a little bit. Let me get that blending brush. I wonder if I already have that blending brush out. Oh, I do have it out already. All right, so let's do So Karen, if you've not stamped with me before, I am a messy stamper. I apologize. I can't help myself. And I'm kind of a putsy stamper too. And I'm not sure if that's, you may not be able to see it very well on there, but it is picking up some of the texture on here, which I like. And it's giving it even more of that little weathered look. Now, if I was brave, I could probably take a marker and trace some lines in there to make it look more like a plaid, but I'm not that brave. It's 1 in the morning here, so I'm not that brave right now. But I kind of like how that shaded a little bit. That might not show up a lot for your view. It's hard to tell on my camera even. All right, so here's, oh, I guess I had a little bit that was smudged, but that's not a big deal. So this is gonna go here. Oh, I should have probably put some little buttons on him. Let's see what we have. Maybe I could put, no, I don't like that bow. Maybe I'll give him a bow tie, because his neck looks a little naked. So there's this die here that looks like a bow, but I'm just going to use the top for a bow tie because I want him to be my gingerbread boy. All right, and let's see, I had, there we go. And I'm going to bring out the little one this time. Because this piece is much smaller. Oops, if I can grab it. I can make black bling if I'm sure I have some. And I might have actually made, I don't know, maybe I should have tried to put his little waistline lower, but it is what it is. We'll put that there. And I'm going to cut a second one just because I want to cut out, well, maybe I can just do it off of here. Make more of a knot on his tie. So it'll look like a bow tie. And I want to put this die back before I lose it. Oh, look, there's one right there. I don't even have to fake it. It's already there for me. Perfect. Berry Burst. This is berry, no, this is dark cherry cobbler. I did Berry Burst last night when I did the snowflake ones, but the Berry Burst I put away. So this is cherry cobbler. Let's get some of this debris put away. These would be kind of fun on him too. These are the streaked dots that come with one of the autumn things. Those might look kind of fun. We'll see. But let's just put a little dollop of glue there. I'm going to put just a little bit more maybe. There we go. Set that down there. There, that looks kind of good. And I think we'll do it so it's tilted up so it looks more like a bow tie. All right, so that piece I don't need. And I'm gonna just finger curl those up a little bit because it's a tie. A cherry cobbler card base, that might be kind of fun. let's go take a look. Because I just happen to have one. I think the cherry cobbler doesn't show a whole lot. Now I could trim down that layer, but I kind of like it there. Yeah, it does pop a little bit more with that one. Good call. Mama Juju, welcome. Yep, Gingerbread Man. It's a Gingerbread Man night. All right, so where did my Holly Jolly go? We could put that across his midsection too and almost cover up all of that. We could make it like a banner that he's holding in his big little hands there. What do you think? Or, yeah, if I do it there, I could just about cover up his frosting on the middle. What do you think? And then did I keep the, let me get these away. Let me get the peppermint candies. I thought I pulled them out. Maybe I put them back. I have a lot of stuff going on here. All right, let's see here. I thought I had pulled them out. Okay, let's go find them here. Well, they're out here somewhere because I have a full pack. Hello, Susan Johnson. Welcome. She is big and cute. The next time, do the car-based pecan and the plaid cherry cobbler. Yeah. I'm just thinking in the catalog, I think they showed him. I can't show the inside of the catalog, even though you might all be demos. What page was he on? Or maybe I saw it online. I'm gonna look. Hold on. Gingerbread Man, page 54. Oh, it was just a page off of where I was. Oh no, they showed. So in the catalog, it shows the background, the plaid and the background in a bright color, so that he stands out a little bit more. So I could get a piece of cherry cobbler. Here, let me just cut this down. So we'll do, I think if we do 4 and 5 1/4, it'll be all right. And then we'll run it through the embossing folder. We'll figure out what we like best, because I can always use these pieces on another card, right? All right, let's move things around here. Colleen Casey, welcome. Haven't seen you here for a bit. So it's harder for me to watch comments this morning for those of you that are coming in a little late, just because I had a vendor market and all of my things are not unpacked yet. And my iPad is one of the things that I had with me. And so that's still buried in boxes. So I did pull over my computer. It's just a little more challenging to watch the comments in that. Initially, I couldn't even see the comments. And then I minimized and resized something and they came up. So, yay. All right, I just have to get rid of some of this debris. There's just too... Oh, here they are. I knew I had them out here somewhere. See, that's what happens when you clean things up. All right, so let's rough these edges up first. The market was good. It's a very small community, but there was steady traffic. It went for 6 hours. And I sold some things, not a ton of stuff, but I sold some things. And I had some very good conversations with people that don't currently craft or stamp with me. And there was, I think, some good interest for having some new people join in some of my gatherings. So that was really what I was looking for, was finding new people to supplement what I have. All right, so let's get rid of some of this dust. All right, and then I'm gonna spritz this one like I did the other one. I'll finish that off camera so I can spread it around a little bit. And I just want to soften up this paper because it does feel much more plaid fabric. I was very late tonight. I came live at 11:59 p.m. here in Wisconsin, so that was really late. So I had this vendor market, and I was, up late yesterday getting things loaded in the vehicle because we needed to be there to set up early this morning. And we had our granddaughter. She was really good about, getting herself ready and helping carry things. So, but anyway, we were loading things yesterday so that we wouldn't have to do it all this morning. And I got there, and, you've got almost an hour and a half to set up, basically. And before I knew it, it was time to go, time to start. And I didn't have all my things out. I'm like, oh my goodness, where did the time go? It's not like I was goofing off. But I didn't get a whole lot of sleep last night because I was putzing late. And then, I still want to do my live. My husband's always like, oh, are you going to do a video again? Well, yeah, I'm going to do a video, honey. Sometimes that is the highlight of my day. Because you never know what's going to happen on this craft table. Well, sometimes I know what's going to happen, but sometimes not. So are we doing the red card base? The cherry cobbler card base? I'm thinking maybe, yeah. Let me see if I have another one cut. Yes. Yes, I do have another one cut. All right. I'm thinking I like it there with the cobbler, the cherry cobbler. What do you think? This has to dry a little bit. I could use my embossing tool, but I had to unplug it so that I could put my computer back plugged in. So we could do him there. Let me move that. So there would be the other one. So we decided to go with the bright, which I think was a good call. And then he's got a little bow tie. And then we have the little holly jolly, or we could not see. I was doing this embossing folder, which is why I did those. And now if I don't use this, then we're kind of going off theme, but that's okay. That's all right. See, I don't know that these are really working with our gingerbread boy because they're more standalone. I thought the holly jolly would work with him, but I'm not feeling it right now. Love the cherry cobbler. Yeah, with the pecan, it does look good. So I'm thinking we could do Season's Eatings. And I could maybe use a punch and chew off one of his limbs. Or we could do another oh snap. Here's what we did last time. Oh snap, and I turned that into a banner, but I would just, maybe I would just cut those apart. Let's do an oh snap here. He's got a face, that's a good thing. All right, I need a block. My blocks are few and far between right now. My granddaughter stamped yesterday and she put all of her blocks in the sink, and because we weren't around today, they didn't all get put away. So it is what it is. All right, so I need this and this and a little oh snap going on. Oh, Season's Eatings. Well, let's give that one a whirl too then. I just saw that. My husband's Italian, so with the Italians, you're either eating, cleaning up after a meal, planning the next meal, cooking the next meal, or driving to the next meal, it seems. And he has more than once said, I'm a good eater. And early on, he said that's why he liked me, was because I was a good eater. So this is the first time I used this sentiment, so that didn't come out as clear as what I had hoped. And if I had my Pearson mat under there, that's a little bit better, except then there's a spot that I missed. Maybe I'm just too picky. There, that one's really good because I didn't try. Alrighty. More things out of the way here. So let's just do some straight cuts here. I'm just going to cut this off first. So Karen, if you're still here, you will find that I frequently am just stamping on the fly. I have kind of an idea in my head on what I want, and I might prepare some of the pieces, and then it just kind of happens. Just kind of happens. So if we put him here, I kind of like him a little canted there. What do we do with the season's eatings? Do we just have it on there? We can get rid of those. I'm not happy with those. And then we could put, he needs his tie. What did I do with his bow tie? Oh, there it is. Stuck to the other gingerbread boy. I'm going to go ahead and glue that down now so that I don't really lose it. Yeah, puns are good. Oh, I should have put those edges maybe up on dimensionals, but it'll be good. I didn't put glue all the way to the ends. All right. So this is not quite dry, so I'm not gonna try to attach that yet. So I can't put on our guy yet. And then if I put our little candies, I think that would work because that kind of goes with eating too. So I'll put a few of those around. I think that would work. And I could always use this guy. So he's got a little piece chunked out, but I could cut this a little bit more, emboss another piece, and then on the inside of the card, I could put oh snap. So we'll see. I might do that. We'll see. One of the kiddos in the family would probably like it. So I think that's as far as I'm going to get on that one tonight. Now this card, when I did this one, I ended up die cutting that out because I forgot to emboss it. And then this is a die cut as well. And I kind of like the die cut on there because it gives it a little bit more dimension. For putting this part inside. Did I read your mind, Fifi? I just think that's kind of fun. Oh, and you know what I could do? I could actually put a little mechanism on it so he moves. That would be fun. All right, so we did kind of a mishmash here. So here's the first ones. I'll have to put these somewhere. Do you think our gingerbread boy needs some pines? Nah, that's probably overkill. All right, so I'll have to put these words all in an envelope. I will probably do some kind of collage and lift some of those up and do some tone-on-tone-ish things. All right, so there's Gingerbread Boy. And let me move these up out of the way. There. So there's those. And then, oh snap is your favorite. So you're thinking you'll snap on the front. Kind of like this one. I love that one too. All right, so let me pull out a couple of other pieces here. I'm not going to do any more, whoops. I'm not going to do any more cards tonight, but I am going to show you something that I have in mind for like, what, 21 and a half hours from now or so. You love this one? This one is, this one is probably my favorite of these two because I kind of like that rustic look. Is that what you like too, Colleen? Gingerbread, the gingerbread guy is a little whimsical. That's fun. Well, thank you, Karen. I appreciate you popping in. Stop in anytime. I'm usually on every night, sometime between 11 p.m. at midnight Central Time in the United States. So I don't know that I remember where you're from or if we even asked where you were from. I'll have to go back and look at the comments. But here is another card that I had in mind that I started, and we may do some of these tomorrow. So I did this card base as a bookbinding fold, and I have these strips that I'm thinking I'm going to do something there with the Merry Christmas and ornaments. So we're going to play with some of this paper tomorrow because I think it's gorgeous. Or we could try to colorize the white. And I had one more ornament somewhere because I had 3 of them to create a grouping. So it's here somewhere. And that's from the back side of one of the other pieces. Oh, it's on the back side of this piece. There's all these ornaments. And I decided to fussy cut it ahead of time because I know it's probably painful to watch me fussy cut because I'm too putsy with it. I will try the silicone brayer. That's a good idea because I do have that tool. So I will play with that maybe while we're live so everybody can see how it worked. All right, so this will be tomorrow, kind of planning ahead a little bit. There's a surprise. This is what I was shooting for tonight, and this was our side bonus project. So I think I'm going to call it a night. I love the roughness around the edge of this too, Colleen. And this is, even though I spritzed it with water, it's very stiff now. And this is a 2-tone cardstock. You can tell because of the sanding on there, and you can see the white core. So that's all I've got for tonight. I don't see any other comments right now. Well, hello, White O'Morn. I think you're new also. Thanks for popping in. I don't know, did you see the whole thing or just the ending here? Thanks for all the hearts, you guys. I see those popping up there. That makes me so happy. Thank you, Colleen. Enjoy the rest of your day because you're right in the midst of your Sunday morning, if I'm not mistaken. Late morning, early afternoon. Math is hard at 1:30 in the morning here. Awesome. All right, so where are you from, White Amorn, that you're just getting up? So I'm guessing you're not in the United States since it's nighttime for us. Fifi's on the West Coast, so she's just at 11:30 now. Mama Juju, she must be part of your group, huh? I love it that you gals pop in here. Thank you for reminding everybody, Fifi. Yeah, those likes help, of course. Ireland, awesome. You're the first one I think that I've had pop in from Ireland. So Colleen, you're at 4:30 already? Boy, my math is way off. Well, you have a fun evening with your raffle stuff, Colleen. I'm sure that's fun. Oh, so Mama Juju White's not with your group. Okay. Very cool. Yeah, my husband is always surprised when he sees some of the countries that pop in. And I think it's because of the time that I go on live. Because, yeah, it's late here in the United States for us. There's a lot of night owls out there, you know. But then as we go around the globe, and there's so many of you that are into the next day, you know, it ends up being, you know, late morning, early afternoon for you guys to pop in. So that's cool. Yeah, Ireland is on my list. Italy, because of course my husband's Italian, so that's on our list. My lineage is actually Sweden, so I'd like to go there and probably Finland, you know, if you're gonna go that way. Very cool. Very cool. All right, gals. Thanks for popping in. Since we're done, I'm gonna go ahead and close out. I appreciate all of the hearts you were giving me. I appreciate the thumbs up. Feel free to share this. Feel free to recreate these projects. Um, I will post pictures maybe sometime tomorrow. We'll see how the day progresses. But I will post these on my Facebook page, which is also Lori's Little Bit of Crafting. If you feel so inspired, you can go over there. You can follow that page as well. And when I post the pictures, then if you have a picture to share, just add a comment. I love seeing what everybody else is making too. And, you know, Facebook doesn't get a whole lot of activity, but Facebook is what some people go to. So um, we'll go there. All right. So Mary, is it Mary or Mari? I'm seeing it as Mary, Brennan. I love that. It just it sounds Irish. Very cool. And the comments of my on my iPad and my computer, I think, are just a little delayed. Um, so if I'm ever not responding, it's either that I just haven't seen them pop up or they're a little delayed. Yeah, accents are fun, aren't they? You know, I don't think I have an accent, but when I go to like Arizona to see our family, they say I have an accent. So it must be the Midwestern thing. Mama Juju has an accent, even though she's in Central Town, it's Central Time, she's Southern. Yeah, Irish, English. Quite honestly, Colleen, I love the Australian accent myself. So I do have an accent, huh? It's normal to me, but just like other people don't think they have an accent either. It's all in who's listening, right? That's great. All right, for the last time, I'm going to say goodnight. Thank you, everybody, for popping in. Um, well, and see, Fifi, I don't think you sound like you have an accent. So I must hear you very similar to me. Oh, thanks for the hugs, too. Hugs back to you. That's great. All right, for the last time, good night, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your day, or sleep well when you head to bed, those of you in the United States. So until next time, which will be in less than 24 hours, happy crafting.